Okay, class. A pleasant day to all of you. I will be discussing about the last lesson under the second term, which is communication and globalization. Okay, so for this session, the learning outcome is to appreciate the impact of communication on society and the world. So to take off to our discussion, let us try to answer this question. Okay, what are the significant events in the Philippines that shaped our country's history? Okay, I based from the uh, answers of my students when I delivered these face to face, they actually answered. First one is the martial law, which was implemented by our former president Ferdinand Marcos Sr. And the second one, of course, is the People Power Revolution or EDSA Revolution, which actually a result of the martial law that happened almost 30 years ago. Okay, so if you will go back to the history of the Philippines, these are the events that actually leave an impact to the history of the country. And this is one of the historical events that has been recorded in significant events that has been recorded in the history of the Philippines. Okay, so these are the pictures of what was happening then during the martial law. And of course, these are the images that was taken during the EDSA uh, revolution or people power revolution. Of course, we have the most iconic person during that time. That is our former president, Cory Aquino. Okay, so let us now try to answer the second question, which is what is the impact of these events in the communication and in society? Okay, so while you are listening to my lecture, you can actually just write your answer in your notebook and see if what I have mentioned, uh, what I have answered from this discussion is correct as yours. Okay, again, in Tagalog, for you to really understand what the question is asking. Ano daw ba yung naging impact ng mga pangyayari na yon or events na yon na doon sa dalawang events na yun, which is the first, the martial law, and the second one is the EDSA revolution or people revolution. Ano daw yung naging impact ng dalawang events na yon sa communication natin during that time at sa ating society or sa ating lipunan. Okay? So, punta muna tayo doon sa panahon ng martial law. Ano bang klase ng, kamusta ba yung communication natin during those times? Okay, so, are we Filipinos free to express our feelings, our emotions? So, okay ba yung freedom of speech natin during that time? At saka yung freedom of expression? So, try to recall what happened during that time, during the martial law in terms of communication. Of course, obviously, di ba, we all know the history of our country, specifically the martial law. Alam nating lahat na nagkaroon ng ano doon, 'di ba? Nawala yung ating freedom of expression at saka yung freedom of speech, lalong-lalo na yung tinatawag natin na press freedom. Yan. Kung saan alam naman natin na during that time, yung media is being controlled by the government. Yes, controlled ng government way back then, yung media. Okay, so yung mga news na ipinakikita dati noon, is of course ay being controlled. Yung mga content ng mga news din is being controlled by the government, specifically Ferdinand Marcos. And of course, andun din yung syempre yung mga uh, journalists na mga pinapatay during that time. Merong mga extrajudicial killings na nangyayari mostly from the journalists kasi those journalists I of course being a journalist of course they have to actually share or the fact or yung mga facts that are happening way back then sa ating bansa. Okay? And in terms of the society, ano ba yung naging effect nung dalawang events na yan sa ating lipunan? Of course, since there are extrajudicial killings way back then, di ba nagkaroon ng, and of course, yung effect nga nung martial law, nagkaroon di ba ng chaos, nagkaroon ng imbalance sa society. Kasi di ba napag-aralan natin dyan na actually communication, ang role ng communication sa society is to, of course, create balance. So kung dahil nga merong imbalance in terms of communicating, in terms dun sa pag-deliver ng news, ayan, the truth is actually being, being hidden from us, but we are all aware of it. Nagkaroon ng imbalance sa society, nagkaroon ng chaos, kanda, gulo-gulo yan. Kaya nga, di ba, nagkaroon ng People Power Revolution or EDSA Revolution. Okay, so punta na tayo sa EDSA Revolution. So nung after, not actually after, but kasi ang EDSA Revolution or People Power Revolution nangyari yan actually sa parang last chapter ng martial law. Kung titingnan natin sa history, parang ano na siya, ando na siya sa post-martial law period. Yan. Kasi actually, di ba, yung People Power Revolution actually ended the martial law. So, during the People Power or its revolution, ano yung mga nakita natin doon sa scenario na yon in terms of communication? What did you observe from the people who participated in the EDSA Revolution or People Power Revolution? Okay, so you may try to make a guess kung ano ba yung, what did you observe during that time? Kung nung panahon ng martial law, takot ang mga Pilipino na magsalita against the government, di ba? Siyempre, nung panahon na noong People Power Revolution, of course, medyo lumakas na talaga yung loob ng mga ah, Pilipino during that time to uh, express their idea, express their feelings, ayan, di ba maraming mga banners doon na nag express ng disgust sa martial law. Ayan, may mga posters and even caricatures of Ferdinand Marcos Sr. that time na lumalabas, expressing na yung disgust nila sa uh, government or sa martial law. Yun. And of course, nagkaroon na rin ng press freedom that time kasi it was covered na by journalists. Ayan. And in terms of the society, nagkaroon ng unity na yung mga Pinoy way back then na to fight against or revolt against the government or to Ferdinand Marcos, di ba? So, nakita niyo, di ba, yung mga videos na napapanood niyo, kung nakapanood kayo noon, nakita niyo kung paano nagkaisa ang mga Pilipino way back then to fight against the government. And they are actually not afraid na to express yung this hate nila doon kay Marcos. So, this is just class an introduction. This is not actually just one of the subtopics, but um, this is just a take of point for the second topic that we will be discussing, that is about memes. So memes are actually they are objects, fashion trend, ideas, song that actually that actually represents a particular phenomenon, and it is something that lodges in our mind and changes us. Okay, so yung mga memes na yan are actually cultural or political memes na merong connection sa mga cultural phenomenon nangyayari sa ating paligid or in a certain culture or a society. So, but before we move on to discussing further what a meme is. So, I know yung meme na alam ninyo is actually somehow similar to the memes that you know from what we will be discussing later on. So, I know that yung mga memes na alam nyo ay yan, yung memes ni Sarah, ni Ermengarde, at saka yung patatas. Okay, so sino kaya sa inyo ang nakaka-relate dito sa memes na ito? Ayan, siguro this meme actually emerged mga last 3 to 4 years ago, and talagang nag-viral yan, lalong-lalo na sa mga katulad yung mga teenagers, mga tweenies, na yung iba nga actually is sinasabuhay pa nila yung mga statement dyan sa tawag daw scenario na yan ni Sarah at saka ni Ermengarde. Ayan. Huwag ka na umiyak, Ermengarde. O, ayan. Eto, ikwento mo na lang sa patatas with feelings. So, ayan, di ba? So, yung ini-act pa yan ng aking mga estudyante noong before pandemic. Okay, so let us try to describe kung ano ba yung meme coming from what we observe dito sa mga memes na nagkalat sa internet, di ba? So, sabi ng mga estudyante ko kanina, nag-discuss ako sa agree. Ayan. Ang memes daw for them is tumatatak daw sa isip, which is actually correct. And it actually makes us realize something. So tama yung mga sinagot nila kanina na it is witty, it is funny, it is humorous, etc. So tama naman yon. So this kind of memes are memes for entertainment, okay? But the one that I will be presenting later on is a meme that has a cultural political relevance, okay? So now let us study kung ano ba yung memes, and you need to carefully listen, class, kasi after this lecture, I will ask you to find your own memes. Kasi maraming memes na available. Yan, you will just have to identify, look for it, and I will also ask you to explain kung bakit mo nasabi na isa siyang meme. Okay? So, okay. So now let us discuss kung ano nga ba ang meme. So sabi dyan, ang meme ay isa siyang idea. Like for example, environmentalism. Maari ding itong isang kanta, isong, a fashion trend, or an expression. And look at the characteristic of the meme that we are talking about. It lodges in our minds and changes us. So tama yung mga sinabi ng mga estudyante ko kanina. Tumatanim sa isip. But hindi lang siya tumatanim sa isip. It somehow changes us. It makes us realize something nga, di ba? It makes us think and realize something, and somehow changes us in a way. So malalaman niyo kung bakit sa mga ibibigay kong example mamaya. So in addition, ang meme ay ano siya, ang isang katangian niya is nagba-viral siya. Ayun, patulad nung sa usapan ni Sarah at Ermengarde patungkol sa patatas, yan. Ang mga memes kasi, ayan, isa sa mga katangian nila is nagiging viral sila. They are spread. Actually, they spread fast, much like viruses like SARS at saka yung COVID, thereby influencing entire cultures. So, yun, yung isa sa mga katangian ng news. Bibigay siya ng influence dun sa mga nakakabasa, nakakarinig sa sa kanila. Okay? Then, aside from an idea or style o fashion trend, sabi nga kanina, it is also a behavior, at ini-imitate siya from one person to person, o kaya from one culture to another. And it often carries symbolic meaning. So ito yung isa sa pinaka-importanting element ng memes. Meron siyang symbolic meaning representing a particular phenomenon or theme. Okay? So, ayan, tandaan nyo yan, yung definition ng memes. Then, ano pa? Okay. Nakita nyo na kanina nakita nyo na yung eto, yung example ng meme ko kanina, I'm supposed to actually ask you and my question should be, ano yung particular meme na nag-emerge during EDSA People Power Revolution, EDSA Revolutionary People Power Revolution. So yung meme na nag-emerge doon is yung yellow ribbon ni Cory Aquino, hindi ba? So yung yellow ribbon na yan, actually hindi lang siya basta-basta meme. It represents a particular idea, a phenomenon, or tawag dito, and it somehow changes us in a way. So bakit kaya nasabi natin na isa sa mga pinakamagandang example na meme is yung yellow ribbon? First, ano ba yung sinabi kanina sa meme? It represents a phenomenon, di ba? So pag nakita natin yung yellow ribbon, what does it reminds us, di ba? It reminds us of the People Power Revolution, the EDSA Revolution. And looking behind that, it is not just a plain yellow ribbon na sinuot or kinabit ng mga o itinay ng mga Filipino way back sa kanilang wrist or dito sa damit nila, ikinapit. It is actually a representation of the Filipinos fight against the government of Ferdinand Marcos. It is actually a call to end the martial law. So it is a representation of what Filipino wants to happen during that time. That is to end the tyranny nga of Ferdinand Marcos. It represents actually their fight against the government against Ferdinand Marcos. It is a call to end that actually that martial law. So yun yung nire-represent niya. And kung titignan yung mabuti, syempre during that time, wala naman kasi tayo, di ba? Sabi kasi di ba kanina, yung meme is somehow changes us. So for me, if I will look at it, yung sociological value ng yellow ribbon na yan, parang yun yung nagsilbing, parang ito yung nagbigay ng karagdagang lakas ng loob sa mga Pilipino way back then para ipagpatuloy nila yung pakikipaglaban nila, ipaglaban per se, yung kanilang gustong mangyari during that time. That is to end the martial law. Parang doon sila humuhugot ng lakas, parang naging agimat nila during that time yan na because we are wearing this, we have become braver kasi it represents the bravery of the Filipino din. Parang yun nga, parang dahil diyan sa yellow ribbon na yan is mas lumakas yung loob nila na makipag tawag dito na labanan yung government that time. Okay? It symbolizes actually their, yun nga, yung kanilang pakikipaglaban at pakikiisa actually doon, unity na sinasabi natin na sa pag-end ng martial law way back then. Okay? So, nagets nyo ba kung ano yung isang meme? So, dapat meron siyang political, cultural relevance, and tumatatak siya sa isip nating lahat. At pagka nakita mo yan, di ba, maiuugday mo siya sa isang pangyayari. Yan, katulad na naman ng yellow ribbon, it actually relates to the EDSA or People Power Revolution, or the fight of the Filipino way back then against the martial law. Okay? So now it is your time now to actually look for your own means. So, pwede pa ako magbigay ng additional, but uh, few na lang para may mahanap pa kayo na means. So, this is actually an individual activity. So, kung hindi kasi na-cancel yung mga classes natin, it should be a group activity na may presentation ulit. And maganda sana yon kasi you'll be able to see or witness how you present it in front. But even na kulang na yung time, this will just be an individual activity. Marami namang means na pwede niyong mahanap eh. Kasi ang means, hindi lang naman siya nagpo-focus sa object, diba? Meron din siyang idea. song, a fashion trend. Okay? So another example of meme that I can actually give you is this one. Think globally, act locally. So environmentalism. So this is a meme. So itong meme na to ay lumabas nung kasagsagan ng time na wala pa kayo, hindi pa kayo pinapanganak na ah, kapapansin pa lang ng mga tawag dito scientists na lumalaki yung butas natin sa ozone layer. Kaya nauso yung ano na yan, yung meme na yan. It is a call for uh, the people around the world to actually protect our environment. Ayan. May mga campaign doon na pinagbabawal yung pagsusunog, mga activities that leads to or results to the tawag dito yung paglaki ng butas sa ozone layer. Kaya meron diyang think globally, act locally. Okay? Then another example is this one. So take note class ha, yung memes pwede lang siyang maging specific sa isang culture. Like katulad sa atin, yung yellow ribbon na yan, sa mga Pilipino, it is actually one of the relevant memes. Okay? Kasi nga, of course, sa Pilipinas nangyari, sa context nating mga Pilipino yun, kung sa ibang bansa, of course, they would not, during that time siguro, yes, kasi nga ay televised naman siya internationally. But a meme can be relevant in just a specific culture like this one. Itong Rastafari, di ba pag nakakita kayo ng ganyang kulay, green, yellow, red, alam yun agad na Rasta, di ba? O yung mga mahilig dyan sa mga reggae na kanta. Ayan, pag nakikita niyo din yan, naisip niyo si Bob Marley. Ayan. Kasi yung mga kanta niya is about reggae. Ayan, at lagi niyang sinusuot yung bonnet nga na yan na red, yellow, and green, and naka ano pa siya, ang tawag dito, ang tawag dyan sa naka-red ba yan? Ayan, or basta parang nakatinta siya na gano'n, nakalimutan ko na yung term. So, ito kasi, itong yellow, green, and red na yan, actually ay, tawag dito, nagsimula siya sa Rastafarianism or Rastafari na isa siyang religious movement na na-develop sa Jamaica noong 1930s among Black Jamaicans. So, yung religion na yan, it teaches the eventual redemption of Black people and their return to Africa, employs the ritualistic use of marijuana, forbids the cutting of hair, kaya pala yung mga hair nila ganyan na lang, ano na lang siya, nakaprintas ng tawag dito, mahigpit, and venerates Haile Selassie as a god. So for them, meme siya kasi if we see this flag, parang flag siya, nako-correlate na natin siya agad. Yeah, that colors pa lang it actually pertains to Rastafari or Rastafarianism. And Rastafarianism to the group of Black Jamaicans during that time, specifically in 1930s, it actually has a meaning that is actually dun lang. Yung meaning nila, of course, is nandun lang sa context ng kanilang group or yung religious group or movement nila na yan. Na it actually, yung Rastafari or Rastafarianism na yun, being symbolized by this flag, green, yellow, red, it actually has a meaning. And the meaning is um, they return to Africa and the ritualistic use of marijuana and yun nga yung pagpo-forbid naman ng paggugupit ng buhok. Okay? So, ayan. So, naging meme din siya. Recognized din siya by our cultures kasi hindi lang naman, of course, we are all aware of this meme. Hindi lang sa kanila aware. Kaya parang naging viral din siya. Nalaman na din siya na such meme actually uh, present. Okay? So, what else? So, magbigay na lang din ako ng another example of memes kasi meron na tayong object, meron na tayong fashion trend, meron na tayong meme na idea. So, meron naman, magbigay naman ako ng example ng meme na which is a song. Okay? So, if you actually heard the song of tawag dito, yung Tatsulok, yung kanta ni uh, Tambo, yan. It is actually a form of meme, but in, ano nga lang, di ba? In a song, a form of a song. So, nasabi ko siya na meme siya kasi during that time, nung unang inirelease yan sa radio, actually, it makes me realize something na, yeah, totoo nga yung sinasabi dun sa lyrics ng Tatsulok. And let us, to understand further kung bakit ko nasabi na isa siyang, it can be classified as a meme. So let me just, share the lyrics of Tatsulok. Ayan. Mas maganda rin pala dito pag ganitong setup kasi I can actually share you the actual lyrics of the song rather by just mentioning it, okay? So, kung titignan nyo, ayan, ano ba yung chorus na lang dito. This song is actually, ayan, pinapakita yung injustice or imbalance sa social system, yung sa justice system natin na hanggang marami ang lugmok sa kahirapan at ang hustisya ay para lang sa mayaman. Okay? Yan. Okay? Ano pa ba? So that is actually the core message of this song na there is an imbalance in the society kasi of course, ang mahihirap, then sa justice system, mayayaman yung mga of course na laging nananalo sa kaso kasi nga syempre pera ang labanan diyan. So yun yung tawag dito, yung core message niyan. So meme siya kasi during that time, nung unang lumabas yan, I don't know kung na ah, kung nakapanganak na kayo during that time. But for us, nung unang release yan, talagang hindi pa uso kasi viral-viral na yun eh. Nag-top 1 siya sa hit chart ng mga radio stations way back then. And halos lahat ng mga tawag dito ng mga kaidaran ko during that time, yung mga ganyan sa inyo, yan, mga first year, second year college ako dun eh. Halos maririnig mo yan, kanta na yan kahit saan ka magpunta. Para nag-viral nga din siya. Palagi siyang pinapatugtog sa mga radio stations kasi yan yung most na requested. So kung baga sa konsepto nag-viral during that time, nag-viral din yan sa panahon namin na hindi pa uso yon sa Facebook. Kung baga parang nag-viral siya kasi lagi siyang pinapatugtog, most requested. Yon. Okay. Then another one, actually, nung narinig namin yung song na yan, it makes us realize something na, yeah, totoo nga, we are all aware of the justice system, but it doesn't make us realize na, yeah, until now is meron pang, ganun pa rin, bulok pa rin yung justice system natin. It makes us realize something, okay, na bulok yung ating justice system. Okay, so, yun yung naging effect sa amin during that time nung una namin napakinggan yun. And I think kung papakinggan yun din ngayon yan, same realization din, kumbaga may effect. And effect is the realization that yes, this is actually happened and somehow talaga mapapaisip ka. Okay? And then another meme is that I can share is maraming song yan, mostly songs ni Bamboo, songs ng Asin, yung mga ganyan, ni Glock 9, ayan. Di ba yung song na Serena? So, actually, di ba, Serena ni Glock 9 is about the, ano uh, yung mga gays, na di ba, gays are actually
I
being
was 2
bashed
years old
because
when I found
of
out that
being gay. So, ang message ng story noon is kung sino pa yung gay, mas lalaki pa siya sa lalaki. Kumbaga parang binigyan ng value ng kanta yung pagiging isang gay noon kasi nga tawag dito um yung role ng pagiging isang babae is tinake over ng isang gay that which is mas lalaki pa nga siya sa lalaki kasi nga tawag dito he actually took care of his father. Basta yon, binigyan niya ng value yung mga gays sa society kasi nga gays are being tawag dito of course kahit na marami pa ng gays ngayon, whether we accept it or not, talagang hindi pa rin acceptable sa society ang mga gays. Kaya yung kanta na yun, it makes us realize na yeah, kahit gay sila, but still being a gay is may puso pa rin sila, may malasakit sila sa kanilang mga magulang kahit sinasaktan sila. Kaya nasabi na mas lalaki pa sila sa lalaki. So, that song actually makes us realize that particular scenario, yung mga scenarios na hindi natin nare-realize kasi alam natin di lang sila, ganyan, ganyan. But, hindi natin nakikita yung mga efforts ng mga gays na katulad nila. Pinakikita nila yung value ng gay sa isang uh, society, context na isang society, specifically in a family. Okay? So, you may actually just look uh, the details of the lyrics of that para makarelate kayo dito sa kung paano ko siya explain. Then, enough of the example of a song. So, magbigay na lang din ako ng isang example pa. So, ito mga example na to, of course, ay hindi niyo na pwedeng gamitin. Kailangan maghanap kayo ng mga memes. Ayoko ng mga memes na more on the mockery. Kasi katulad ng mga estudyante ko kanina, I don't know kung yung hindi pa nila masyadong naiintindihan ko ano yung memes. Ang binigay nila example is yung kay Alice Guo daw. Ayan na, sorry kung may maingay dito. I hope hindi nyo naririnig yung tunog ng aircon. Yung meme na nag-viral daw na yung statement ni Alice Guo na lumaki ako sa farm. So ayoko yung ganong meme. Ang gusto kong meme is yung katulad ng Yellow Ribbon. Yes, it is a meme, but those memes are actually uh, a type of meme that actually focuses on mockery. Ayoko ng mga ganon. Okay, mas gusto ko yung mga memes katulad ng Yellow Ribbon nga, yung mga ganyan. At saka yung mga songs like what I have shared earlier. So, yung matitinong memes ha, political relevant memes. So, isa sa mga memes na ibinigay pa ng mga na ibinigay ng mga previous students ko way back then is kung maghahanap talaga kayo, talagang makakakita kayo eh. Maraming memes na nagkalit dyan. Okay, pwedeng outside the context ng pwede kayo lumabas sa Pilipinas, there are actually memes that are specific to culture. So sa iba't ibang bansa maraming memes and you can just research, okay? So another meme na na ibibigay ko para makapaghanap kayo ng sarili niyong meme is yung rainbow, di ba? Ang rainbow kasi is gamit siya ng LGBTQ plus A community. It actually is a representation of the different spectrum of tawag dito genders. So 'di ba kasi 'di ba sa LGBT kasi we have the lesbian, gay, bisexual, etc. So ayun yung yung nagre-represent sa kanila yung colors ng LGBTQ plus A. And it doesn't only reflect yung parang variation nila being called the other sexes, but it also actually is a representation that such group exists, and through that rainbow icon or whatever you call it, it is actually that symbol of them actually ask for a recognition, ask for a recognition in the society that people like them exist. Okay? O di ba kayo, pagka nakita niyo yung rainbow, alam niyo na agad, i-relate niyo na siya agad na it is pertains to the LGBTQ plus A community. Pag nakita mo na yung rainbow na yun, symbol yan ng mga LGBTQ plus A. But it is more than a symbol. It is a representation of who they are and what they are. And kasi yung personalities nila, they are colorful. We know naman din, di ba, na they are being joyful sa isang barkada nga, di ba? They bring joy and color to your group. No? Di ba? Mas masaya kasi pagka meron kayong friend na LGBTQ plus A na kaibigan. It is representation of who they are, what they are, and it is actually a call or a representation then that their group actually exists and they are being asked to be recognized by the society. So meron siyang cultural political relevance. So nag-viral din siya in a sense na kasi of course, 'di ba? It is their representation. So makikita natin yan all over the internet. Yun yung gamit nila to represent their group. Okay? So I hope ay na-gets nyo na kung ano yung meme. So mas maganda kasi siya talagang i-discuss sa face to face, ano, yung may interaction wherein I can actually get your idea and integrate my idea of what meme really is. But again, I would like to emphasize na ang meme na hinahanap ko is yung meme which has cultural or political value. Iwasan ninyo yung memes that focuses on mockery, yung katulad nga nung kay Alice Guo na yan, na yes, it is a meme kasi nag-viral siya and uh, tumanim siya sa isip natin. But ano ba yung cultural political relevance na yon na na-contribute ng meme na yon? What does it make you realize? Does it somehow change us? Katulad noong Yellow Ribbon ni Cory, ano ba yung naging effect sa iyo noon? Like yung kanta noong Tatsulok ni Bamboo or ng River Maya, napaisip ka ba na yeah, this actually is happening. We are actually aware of it, but through that song, I was able to realize na how bulok yung sistema ng Pilipinas at sa katagal-tagal na nag-exist ng Pilipinas is until now, hindi pa rin siya nabibigyang pansin yung issue na yun. Okay? So, I want you to explain your own name the way I have explained it here. Di bale, magbibigay naman ako ng mga guide questions kung para masagot niyo yung or kayo ma-explain yung mabuti kung bakit yung nasabi na yung napili ninyong object, song, or fashion trend na yan ay isang meme. Okay, so dito na lang muna natin i-end class and ikat na lang natin yung ating discussion. Okay, so see you next week and good luck to your exam and long quiz.